Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we can start Prabhu. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, welcome to Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Today we are very glad to have the association of His Grace Svayam Prakash Prabhu, who will be sharing the pastime and glories of Srila Madhavendra Puri. His auspicious appearance studies today. Prabhuji, over to you, Prabhuji. May on the camera, Prabhuji.
Yeah, yes, bro, I'm just. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Ruttamaśloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Today is a very, very auspicious day. So, many Acharyas' appearance day is there today. Parameshwari Das Thakur appearance day. Then Srinivasa Acharya Thakur appearance day. Madhavendra Sripad appearance day. And then again appearance day of Sri Radharamanji. So we'll see how much we will be able to discuss. I thank for this opportunity to remember our acharyas and discuss something about them, because by discussing about them, about their qualities, it gives us an opportunity to recollect or remember or remind ourselves that what should be our aspirations, or where I should be going towards, or what is that which I am not aspiring now, which I should be doing it. So these things it will give. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a verse. It is just Bhagavad-vida Bhagavata. Tirti kurvanti tirtani swantastena kadabrata. So this is a shloka which comes when Vidura comes to meet all the Pandavas. There, Yudhishthira Maharaj says this: Bhavad-vida Bhagavatas Tirtha Bhuta Svayam Vibho Tirti Kurvanti Tirtani Swantastena Kadabrata. My Lord, devotees like your good self are verily holy places personified. Because you carry the personality of Godhead within your heart, you turn all places into places of pilgrimage. The personality of Godhead is omnipresent by his diverse potencies everywhere, just as the power of electricity is distributed everywhere within space. Similarly, the Lord's omnipresence is perceived and manifested by his unalloyed devotees like Vidura, just as electricity is manifested in an electric bulb. A pure devotee like Vidura always feels the presence of the Lord everywhere. He sees everything in the potency of the Lord and the Lord in everything. The holy places all over the world are meant for purifying the polluted consciousness of the human being by an atmosphere surcharged with the presence of the Lord's unalloyed devotees. If anyone visits a holy place, he must search out the pure devotees residing in such holy places, take lessons from them, try to apply such instructions in practical life, and thus gradually prepare oneself for the ultimate salvation, going back home, back to Godhead. To go to some holy place of pilgrimage does not mean only to take bath in the Ganges or Yamuna, or to visit the temples situated in those places. One should also find representatives of Vidura who have no desire in life save and except to serve the personality of Godhead. The personality of Godhead is always with such pure devotees because of their unalloyed service, which is without any tinge of fruitive action or utopian speculation. They are in the actual service of the Lord, specifically by the process of hearing and chanting. The pure devotees hear from the authorities and chant, sing, and write the glories of the Lord. Mahamuni Vyasadeva heard from Narada, and then he chanted them in writing. Shukadeva Goswami studied them from his father, and he described them to Parikshit. That is the way of Srimad Bhagavatam. So by their actions, the pure devotees of the Lord can render any place into a holy place of pilgrimage, and the holy places are worth the name only on their account. Such pure devotees are able to rectify the polluted atmosphere of any place, and what to speak of a holy place rendered unholy by the questionable actions of interested persons who try to adopt a professional life at the cost of the reputation of a holy place. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanasute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Neelachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadras Bhadrabhyam Jagannathaya Te Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Lokam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkapatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarnam Paramanantamadhanam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. So, by reading this verse or the purport, if you see, then we'll be able to appreciate Srila Prabhupada all the more, that how Srila Prabhupada, he heard from his spiritual master so eagerly. Even when everybody went for the darshan, Prabhupada was sitting and was eager to hear. And even his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when Prabhupada's initiation day came, he said, yes, I know, he loves to hear. So he had identified. Because of his eagerness to hear, then later, Prabhupada, what he had heard, he put into the form of the books. And then, along with that, Prabhupada went to West and preached and turned all the places, whichever place Prabhupada went, he turned them into the holy places. And what to speak of just one holy place. Prabhupada replicated all the holy places of Vrindavan and other places in the Western world. That is the glory of a devotee. I remember one incident where as well as Radhanath Maharaj writes in the Journey Home that when he had to leave Vrindavan and he had to go to US back because of the visa getting expired, then the Vrajavasis, when he was meeting them and telling them, I had to leave, please bless me that I come back again. Many of the Vrajavasis, there was the assembly of Vrajavasis, they said, see, we have heard that they would call Prabhupada as Swami Maharaj. They said, we have heard that Swami Maharaj has created like the Vrindavan in America. So we all say that if you leave this Vrindavan, you should go nowhere else other than that Vrindavan which he has created, and he has named it as New Vrindavan. So that way, even the Vrajavasis identified the glories of Prabhupada, that how he created the holy place in the Western world. And that is because, as Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying, Swantasthena Gadabrata, that you are carrying the Lord in your heart. Because of that, the Lord manifests externally. So, I was just appreciating, glorifying Prabhupada because all the other acharyas were quite past and we may not be able to see many of their glories, although they have done oceanic things, but we may not have the access to it or we may not be aware of it. But at least Srila Prabhupada was quite recent and we are able to immediately see the places or the things. And moreover, we are very so fortunate that although we could not get the association of Srila Prabhupada, but we were able to get the association of those devotees who directly interacted with Prabhupada's direct disciples. Maybe after 10, 20, 25 years, we may not have that opulence that we'll be able to again spend time or hear from those who had met Srila Prabhupada. And His Holiness Bhaktichar Swami Maharaj used to tell that the glory of Prabhupada we will understand as the time passes. Just like a person who is staying at the base of a mountain, he will not know the glory of the mountain or the height of the mountain, what is its greatness. As he moves away from the mountain bottom foot, that time he'll be able to appreciate, oh, it's so big, it's so huge, it looks so beautiful. The same way, because we are very close to Prabhupada's presence, or when he was present, Bhaktichar Maharaj was telling that we were not able to see that glories of Prabhupada, although so many books have been written, but as the time passes, he was telling it is like moving away from the mountain and we'll be able to see the beauty and the height and the greatness of the mountain. The same way we'll be able to appreciate and see the greatness and glory of Srila Prabhupada. So because of Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we could have the access to the Chaitanya Charitamrita also and the whole Gaudiya Parampara teachings. Otherwise, without the Srila Prabhupada, we would have never had the access to Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is considered to be the topmost scriptures, because Bhagavad Gita is considered to be the graduation and Bhagavatam like masters, and the Chaitanya Charitamrita is the PhD. So we are grateful for Prabhupada for giving an access to this topmost literature. And that to Prabhupada, while writing the Bhagavatam, in between Prabhupada stopped it and wrote the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Prabhupada's desire to bring out the Chaitanya Charitamrita was so strong that all the devotees were printing the books and they had made 2 volumes. And Prabhupada said, I want all the remaining volumes. How much time it will take? And they said, Prabhupada, it will take, in 2 months we can bring 1 volume. And Prabhupada said, I have completed and I am so fast, and you are telling 1 volume in 2 months? I want everything in 2 months. And then the devotees worked so hard to bring out just 1-2 days before the 2 months they could complete. That is the glory when one takes the instruction of the spiritual master to heart and try to execute. So today we'll discuss about the glorious acharyas in the remaining whatever little time we have. Although their glories are oceanic, and whatever comes to my limited mind, or based on what I've heard and read, I'll try to discuss. And I'm also referring to the beautiful notes made by Gaurang Prabhu. He has made on CC some of the chapters, and also I'll just try to refer some of them. We have heard about the Madhavendra Sripad, who is considered to be the origin of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. We are Brahma Madhva Gaudiya, and that the Madhvacharya's line, the connection or the origin, beginning or the root of the Gaudiya Sampradaya starts with the Madhavendra Puri. Because till Lakshmi Tirtha, before that, in the Madhva Sampradaya, they accept Krishna. There is the Vatsalya Bhava, but there is no Madhurya Bhava, or there is no Radharani. If you go to Udupi, there is Krishna is there, Udupi Krishna, but there is no Radharani there. And this Madhurya, or the Madhurya Bhava, or the conjugal relationship, that Madhurya Rasa was first experienced, or taken or brought to this material world through the Madhavendra Puri. And down the line, Madhavendra Puri, Ishwar Puri, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then that is the Gaudiya Sampradaya which begins. So that way, Madhavendra Puri path is considered to be one of the special in our Sampradaya. And we know how Madhavendra Puri path was doing Ayachaka Vritti. That is, he would never beg or ask for anything. Always he would, whatever comes on its own accord, he would accept it. So the same way, when one day when Madhavendra Puripad was there, and the Govardhan, and he was sitting next to Govinda Kund. Those of you who might have gone to the Vrindavan and Govardhan, Govinda Kund is the place where we can see the presence of Govardhan very closely. And just in front of that, there is this Madhavendra Puri Baitak, where Madhavendra Puripad was sitting, and he was just meditating on the Lord, and without asking anything. So, and it is said that Krishna is, if somebody asks for anything, Krishna gives, and if he doesn't ask, for pure devotees, he is always eager to come and provide all the necessities. The same way, a small boy comes and offers a pot of milk to Madhavendra Puri, and he says, "Oh Baba, please take this. Because you have not taken anything, I have brought milk for you, because nobody in our place goes hungry." And Madhavendra Puri says that, "How did you come to know that I have not taken anything?" Then the small boy says that all the ladies who come for the taking water, they said that there is a Babaji who we have not seen him going and begging, or we didn't see coming to our places also, so he might have not taken. So if somebody comes and asks, we give, but if somebody doesn't ask, then I personally come and give. Saying this small boy comes and offers a pot of milk and leaves. While Madhavendra Puri was looking at this small boy, he was so much mesmerized to see the beauty of this small boy with the lotus-like eyes and the bluish complexion. And afterwards, he takes the milk and he starts sipping. While drinking the milk, seeing the aroma of the milk, he feels that it cannot be anyone other than Krishna, and he feels so much kind of self feeling that how unfortunate I am that Krishna came in front of me, but I could not recognize him. Seeing this in that painful this one, he falls asleep. And in the dream, Krishna comes and tells that actually I have been hidden in the bushes. When the Mughals attack happened, at that time all the pujaris, because of fear of not able to take care of me, they have hidden me in the bushes, and I am feeling very heat because of the summer. So can you please take me away? Madhavendra Puri immediately gets up, and he doesn't think, because sometimes so many dreams come to us, but when you get up, we think, oh, one more dream. But Madhavendra Puri doesn't think. Immediately he gets up, and then he calls for some of the Vrajavasis, and with the help of the Vrajavasis, he digs that place, and then sure shot in the middle of the bushes, he find the small deity of the Gopal. And immediately he becomes so happy that he takes that and takes it on the top of the Govardhan, and he makes a platform, and one more platform for the resting on the back, and he installs the deity and requests all the devotees to get the water from the Govinda Kund, and they had thousands of pots full water, bringing and offering Abhishek to the Lord, because Gopal was feeling heat inside the being buried in the land. Then Madhavendra Puri offers a wonderful, arranges for a big festival wherein all the devotees from that village comes and offers, makes Chapan Bhog. It was a kind of a whole festive mood in the entire village. And hearing the news, the nearby village people also start coming to that place and wanting to find out that what is that special, and they wanted to take the darshan of the deities. And in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the description comes, whoever comes there, everybody gets so captivated by seeing this Gopal deity that they, and also the festival and the Annakut, they say that we also want to serve the Gopal by offering a Annakut. That way, every village, turn by turn, one village took the opportunity to serve the Annakut festival. That practically almost for nearly 2 years, it was everyday affair that every day there is Annakut and big celebration is happening. And the Gopalji was very much happy seeing the nice services. And Madhavendra Puripad had already, by that time, he had arranged for 2-3 Brahmanas to take care of the deities also. And he would personally be coordinating and serving the Gopal deity. And after that, one day when Madhavendra Puripad was sleeping, again Gopalji comes in his dreams and tells that Madhavendra Puri, you are serving me so nicely and so much of bhoga is being offered, but at the same time, still I'm feeling the heat. So I want you to go to Malaya hills and get the chandana. So immediately, once again, Madhavendra Puripad gets up from his dream and immediately he starts going towards the Jagannath Puri, making all the pujaris to take care of the deities. So here also we can see that how when the service came, Madhavendra Puripad didn't tell that like, no, okay, you all do it, or okay, I'll send someone to get the chandana. He personally goes as aspired or the instructed by the Lord. At the same time, his eagerness to serve the Lord is so much that it's not that, okay, let others do. No, let me do it. And in this regard, Srila Bhakti Vaishnava Ashray Maharaj was telling that Lord saw that Madhavendra Puri is doing too much of management, just taking care of the coordinating the festival and everything. I want him to lovingly offer his service to me. So that's why Lord arranged for this whole incident. And this is that another senior devotee was telling, Brahmaji, he comes to assist the Supreme Lord in the secondary creation. And the first thing he hears is Tapa, and he sees the beautiful form of the Lord, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. But still, when he got into the management, just coordinating and making everything proper in this material world, he also becomes captivated, or he becomes so much covered up because of the modes or this one, that he could not identify the Supreme Lord, because which the Brahma Vimohan Lila happened, because he was just delegating all the things to different people. So he was telling that yes, we should delegate to get the things done, but at the same time, we should also be having some service which we render to the Lord directly. Then Madhavendra Puripad starts going towards the Jagannath Puri, and while traveling on the way, he comes to the place called as Ramana. And that too, that time it was not that going to Vrindavan to Jagannath Puri. There's practically days and weeks one has to practically walk. That was either the walking or the animal carts that were the mode of transport that time. And Madhavendra Puri being a sannyasi, he didn't have any horses or bullock cart or something. So he started walking. And in Ramana, when he came to the temple of the Gopinath. And when he came, that was exactly the time when the Bhoga offering and the Aarti time of the Lord. When he came there, he saw that he came to know that the offering is going to happen, and they offer a very special item which is called as Amrita Keli, which is made up of condensed milk. It's something like rabdi, little condensed, and they put it in a small pots, mud pots, and they offer around 12 or 14 something they offer every day. And while the pujari said that we are making an offering of Amrita Keli, the moment Madhavendra Puri heard it, he just got a desire that how nice it will be if I can get one little bit of the Mahaprasad to taste, so that I can know what all or how it is made, and I can offer the same item to my Gopalji. It was not that I want to enjoy or I want for my own gratifying my tongue, I want that, but his desire was that I want to taste it so that I can offer the same thing to the Gopalji. One of the devotee in Bombay, Baldepur, when I was working there, once he was sharing that he had come from the other temple, Nigdi, and he had a big papaya. Then while talking, I said, just Proji, nice papaya. Did you purchase or something? Or he said, no, I got it from Nigdi. Oh, how come? He said that actually it is grown in the temple only. So when I saw that, I thought it's so nicely grown by devotees in the temple premises. Why not I take this one for offering to Gopinath? So he's telling that wherever we go, whatever we see, if something special of that place is there or something very good, then we should remember the deities and like we can get it. So it was very touching. The same way, Madhavendra Puripad was remembering the service or offering the best to Gopalji, and he desired to have little bit of the kheer or Amrita Keli. And immediately a thought came in his mind that how can I desire to taste or have something before the Lord accepts it? It's not a right thing. Feeling that, or he leaves the place and goes away. And the pujari offers the Amrita Keli and night goes to rest. And in the dream of the pujari, the Gopinath comes and tells that actually I have hidden a pot of Amrita Keli, and you immediately go there, and it is the behind in the altar behind me, and you take it and offer it to Madhavendra Puri. Immediately the pujari gets up. It was a big shock for him, and he takes bath and goes to the altar, and that way it is in the night. He's going immediately, and he opens the lock and enters the Garbhagriha and sees behind the Lord there was a pot of sweet rice or the Amrita Keli. He takes it, and now he becomes so elated or excited to know who is this devotee Madhavendra Puripad. For that, Lord has personally kept the this sweet rice. With that, he becomes so eager to know. And there's a Kirchor Gopinath photo which all of you are seeing. So he becomes eager, and he goes out and loudly calls out, Madhavendra Puripad, where are you? Gopalji, Gopinath has kept this pot of Amrit Keli for you. Please come, Madhavendra Puripad. And when Madhavendra Puri hears the calling, he goes, and he was feeling ashamed. At the same time, he goes and he gets the pot of the sweet, this Amrita Keli, and he gets it, and then takes it, and immediately he leaves the place. He didn't wanted the name, fame, glory. Although he knew that everybody, the news will spread that, oh, for the sake of me, Lord had kept this pot of sweet rice, and everybody may come and appreciate or glorify. Let me leave this place immediately. Generally, we see that how in this material world, everybody wants to show that, or wants to be in the limelight, or wants to be in the center. Everybody wants to propagate or pose themselves as the center. That's why we see either all the celebrities, or in the movie industry, or in these days the YouTube. Everybody wants to make YouTube or the selfie and wants to show that no, I am the center. Everybody should know about me. People go to different place and take selfies that, oh, I was here, I had this. But here, the Madhavendra Puripad doesn't want name, fame, glory. That's why it is said that Pratishtara Nari, no, I don't know the exact this one, but it says that in the material world, everybody runs behind her and she runs away from them. But whereas those who run away from her, she runs behind them. The same way here, although Madhavendra Puripad didn't wanted any of the name, fame, glory, he leaves that place and goes to Jagannath Puri. But by the time he reached Jagannath Puri, already the news had spread that how, for the sake of this devotee Madhavendra Puri, the Lord had stolen the Kheer Chor, or the Amrita Keli, and Madhavendra Puri feels very much humbled. However, after reaching there, by the time the glory of Madhavendra Puri had spread, and the king of that place, he gives in the Chaitanya Charitamrita also comes the quantity also, I don't remember exactly. He gives a good amount of chandana as well as the karpura, so that it can camphor, it can give the fragrance and the cooling effect. And then with both of these things, Madhavendra Puripad stays there for some time and starts returning, carrying, and he had one or two assistants also to carry them. And on the way also there was no much difficulties in the travel. And in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it comes that Madhavendra Puripad had to personally bring all this chandana, but although it was so heavy and all, but he never felt it as a painful. So just give me. There's a verse which is a very beautiful verse which says, what was the feeling of Madhavendra Puri? Yeah. Even while coming, there were many Muslim kings and all, but there was not much difficulties. So these 2-3 verses shows that what was the mood of, or the eagerness to serve the Lord, the mood of Madhavendra Puripad. Pragada Premirai Swabhava Achara Nija Dukha Vignadhira Nakare Vichara. Pragada Premirai Swabhava Achara. The devotees, like now, those who are very intensely loving and wanting to serve the Lord, who have that intense love for the Lord, what is their natural behavior? Nija dukkha vignadira nakare vichara. Nija dukkha, one's own, whatever the difficulties or the inconvenience which may come upon oneself, or whatever the vigna or the difficult inconvenience or the impediments may be there, difficulties may be there, they will not think about it only. They will not consider it only. They're happy just serving, despite whatever the difficulties come. Prabhupada writes a very beautiful purport. It is natural for those who have developed intense love for Krishna not to care for personal inconveniences and impediments. Such devotees are simply determined to execute the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his representative, the spiritual master. If you are, while reading this purport, we can see that how Prabhupada, like now, we can see all these qualities, how the Prabhupada was outpouring his heart. We can see his own life, how he was also so eager to serve. He didn't care about any of his difficulties, whatever came in front of him. And just to please the Lord and his spiritual master, he took all these things. In all circumstances, even amidst the greatest dangers, they undeviatingly carry on with the greatest determination. This definitely proves the intense love of the servitor. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Tattenu kampam sushamekshamana. Those who seriously desire to get free from the clutches of material existence, who have developed intense love for Krishna, are worthy candidates for going back to Godhead. An intense lover of Krishna does not care for any number of material discomforts. These four things Gauram used to repeat very much. An intense lover of Krishna does not care for any number of material discomforts, scarcity, impediments, or unhappiness. Because while being in this material world, these four things are going to come. There will be many material discomforts because this material world is dukkhale ashashvatam. So there cannot be any sukha, or there will be like the three-mode miseries, fourfold sufferings are there. But that's going to be there. And there will be scarcity of, in terms of the scarcity of the, it can be the helping hands or the money or our ability. There can be many of the scarcities can be there. And while executing anything, there will be a lot of impediments, either because of one's own lack of the knowledge or the ability, or the others externally bringing up the impediments in our execution. When we see that Srila Prabhupada also, if you see, all these things were there. Srila Prabhupada had like the material discomforts. It was not that everything was very nicely arranged. Prabhupada had to stay in the Bauri. Like now, and Prabhupada also scarcity. Prabhupada didn't had any lot of wealth or something. He just went with 40 rupees, which cannot be converted or some like no exchanged. And not many people were helping and was there. He was alone doing everything. And later, when things became normal and when he was able to spread everywhere, like no, there were difficulties or the impediments were put by his own like no people or God brothers or some people in the other Gaudiya Vaishnavas in the Mayapur place to take the land, or in the Juhu, other people coming and like no, wanting to cheat. And in all these things, there can be many unhappiness situations. It is not that Prabhupada was happy with all the people because of their bringing all these impediments or something. But despite all these things, they never stop the service. They continue. They are ready to take any risk for the sake of serving the Lord. It is said that when one sees apparent unhappiness or distress in a perfect Vaishnava, it is not at all unhappiness for him. Rather, it is transcendental bliss. In Shikshashtaka, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has also instructed Ashtishyava Padaratam Pinashtamam. The intense lover of Krishna is never deviated from his service, despite all difficulties and impediments brought before him. ei tara gada prema loke dekaite Gopala tare ajna dila chandana anite. Just Shri Gopal ji wanted to show how intensely Madhavendra Puri loved Krishna. Therefore, he asked him to go to Nilachal and get the sandalwood and pulp, sandalwood pulp and the camphor. Bahu parishrame chandana remona nila anande badila mane dukkhana ganila. With great trouble and after much labor, like bahu parishrame, so much of labor because traveling and carrying all these things. Chandana remona anila, and he came back to Remuna. While doing all these things, Anande Badila Mane Dukkhana Ganila. His happiness was increasing and he never had he didn't feel any discomforts or difficulties, or he was not counting on them. So when Madhavendra Puri comes back again to, oh sorry, I thought I was sharing the screen. I didn't share the screen. So when Madhavendra Puri comes again back to the Remuna, and there again the Lord comes in the dreams and he says that oh Madhavendra Puri, you have brought it here, brought to the Gopinath temple, and Gopalji says, now you please apply the chandan on the body of Gopinath. I am not different from him. If you apply there, I'll feel the coolness here. And Madhavendra Puri serves the Lord there, Gopinath, in the Remuna. I just wondering, I don't know, I shared in one of the forum, when I saw this, I was just remembering if like I have brought something to serve our deities, and in between one more temple comes and asks, hey, like no, or I'm in one more temple to get the dress or the ornaments for the deities, and the Lord comes and tells that like you offer it there, like it's as good as here. So at least I may think that, oh, I think it is just a dream or somebody telling. I'm thinking that, oh, Madhavendra Puri had done, so that's why it's just and also we feel, even if we have to give, Lord, we feel little, my dear Lord, I was bringing it for you. How can I? There'll be a tug of war. But Madhavendra Puri he didn't have any of those things. He brings and offers to the Gopinath. And Gopinath ji was so much pleased. So this is the way our acharyas want to, so eager to serve that they don't consider any of the impediments which come on them. Seeing this, like now, this whole incident comes when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling with all the four of them to Jagannath Puri after sannyas. This is the first time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming to this one. There, when he comes to the Remuna, there he remembers what he had heard from his spiritual master about his Paramaguru. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells to all the associates about the glories of Madhavendra Puri. This is about the little bit about the Madhavendra Puri's life. In another 10 minutes, maybe we'll discuss about something about the Srinivasa Acharya, and as well as today's appearance of Radharamanji also, that the next day of Narsim Chaturdashi, in Vrindavan, all the devotees, all the Goswamis, when they went there, initially they didn't have any deities, but eventually Sanatana Goswami had Madan Mohanji, and Rupa Goswami Pad had Sri Radha Govindaji, and they all were having their deities, and they were able to nicely do abhishek and decorate and do a lot of offer services. Then Gopal Bhatta Goswami went there. He's from South India, Srirangam, and when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had come for the Chaturmasya, he was very small and he had met him, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed him that after 4 months, when this Gopal wanted to go back, go with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, no, you stay back, your parents are pure devotees, serve them, and when they leave their body, you come to Vrindavan and join me. and don't get married. And Gopala Bhatta Goswami, he followed and he comes and joins Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami in Vrindavan and starts assisting them. And meanwhile, while serving Radha Govinda deity and all, he would see that how nicely they can be decorated. But just before that, he had gone to the Nepal in the Kaligandaki river when he had gone for a Tirtha Yatra. While taking bath in the Kaligandaki river, almost around 14 saligrams jumped in his eyes while just taking the water to offer either the oblation or something. And then he feels, oh, might be, I might have taken the saligram from the, while taking the water, and he leaves it. And again, they jump in his hands. 2-3 times it happens. And then he feels that mostly Lord wants me to serve them. And he brings them and keeps them. And every day he was serving the saligram Shila. And while taking care of the other deities, he was feeling that everybody comes and gives so many offerings or the dresses and ornaments, everything to the deities. But how unfortunate, or I don't have that. What all ornaments or the dressing can I do for the Saligram Shila? If it were to be a deity, then I also could offer nice ornaments and this one. While thinking this, like the Gopala Bhatta Goswami, like goes to sleep, and the next day of Narsimha Chaturdashi, when he gets up, he sees that from one of the Damodar Saligram Shila, he had manifested as the beautiful form of Radha Raman. And it is said that Radha Ramanji is very small, less than a feet or so, but very beautiful. And just to give the, like somebody may say, oh, this deity somebody might have brought and kept, or Gopal Bhatta Goswami only has kept the deity just to show that, oh, it is the, like now I want to decorate, I want the ornaments and all. Just to give that confirmation, the Saligram Shila, from the half of Saligram Shila, this beautiful form of Govind Radharamanji was formed, and in the behind there is a part of the Saligram Shila still in the back. So this form of the Lord, when he saw, it is said that the Madan Mohana, the lotus feet part of the Madan Mohana, the down part, knee and down, that resembles the Radha Madan Mohanji, and the middle part of the exactly Radharamanji's lotus feet resembles that of the Krishna's actual lotus feet, and the middle part of Radha Gopinath resembles that of Krishna, and the face of Gopinath resembles that of Gopinath resembles that of Krishna, and Radharamanji's all the three parts were of these three deities, making the complete, like exactly it looked as how Krishna was looking. And the deity worship standards at Radha Ramanji temple is also very high, as given by Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Even today, although the deities are very small, but still the number of devotees who go there to take the darshan, beautiful darshan of Radha Ramanji is very amazing. And so many wonderful decorations, and the Fool Bangla or this one, they make there for the pleasure of Radha Ramanji. Also today is the auspicious occasion of the appearance of Srila Srinivasacharya. There was one devotee by name, I'm not able to recollect his name. So he was a devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he had gone to, he was staying near the area of Katwa, and when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had gone to Katwa, the news had spread, and he had gone to see Lord Chaitanya. And just when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas, at the time, seeing the beautiful form, and now no more the beautiful curly hairs are there, he was constantly chanting the name of Chaitanya, 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 and nothing would come from his mouth. And because of that, everybody gave him the name Chaitanya Das. And this Chaitanya Das and his wife, they didn't had any children for a long time. And once they come to Jagannath Puri and to take darshan of Lord Jagannath and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and there they get the desire to have a child, and then eventually a son was born, and they name him Srinivasa Acharya. And this Srinivasa Acharya, he grew up with his mother, and he was right from the childhood, he was hearing about Lord Chaitanya, but he wanted to take darshan of the Lord. And at one point of the time, his father Chaitanya, he passes away, and then he wanted to come to Vrindavan, and giving some excuse to mother, he comes to Jagannath Puri. While coming on the way, when he had just reached the outskirts of Jagannath Puri, he hears the news that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has left this world and gone. And it was a big shock for him that I came to meet Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and I am not able to meet. And he was feeling very much pained, and starts lamenting and crying, and he falls asleep. And in the dream, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and tells that you please go and learn Chaitanya Srimad Bhagavatam under Gadadhar Pandit. So immediately he rushes to Jagannath Puri to meet Gadadhar Pandit, and Gadadhar Pandit says, see, actually I am in the separation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I am not able to do anything, but continuous tears are flowing from my eyes while reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. All these tears are falling on that, and the ink has erased. So I don't have Srimad Bhagavatam to teach you. You have to go and get one from the Mayapur or the Bengal province. Immediately, Srinivasacharya leaves to Mayapur. At that time, there was no immediate courier or the internet and all. He goes back, and it has to be written. One more copy has to be made. It takes some time. Meanwhile, he goes to Mayapur and meets Sachimata and comes. And not Sachimata, I think it was Lakshmi Priya. And then he comes back, and then again he comes to Jagannath Puri with this Srimad Bhagavatam. But when he comes to the outskirts of Jagannath Puri, he hears that Gadadhar Pandit has now left this world. It was a big shock for him that I wanted to learn Srimad Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction was, but I could not meet him. And feeling deep separation, he falls asleep again crying. Then the Gadadhar Pandit comes in the dream and says that go to Vrindavan, and there Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami are there. You study under them. Immediately, without spending any time, he starts moving towards Vrindavan, and he goes to Mathura. And when he was in the Mathura, Dashashwamedha Ghat, and going towards Vrindavan, he hears the news that Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami have left this world and separation from the Lord. Again, it was a big shock, and he again he starts crying. What is this? Wherever I am going, I am not able to meet any of the associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Alas, I am so sinful. So while thinking about this, then Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami come in the dream, and they say that you go and study under Jiva Goswami. So he comes, and Srinivasacharya takes initiation from Gopala Bhatta Goswami, and then studies under Jiva Goswami. And that is a place where three of these acharyas, Srinivasacharya, then Narottam Das Thakur, and Shyamananda Pandit. So these three of them become very close friends, although three were disciples of three different spiritual masters. Narottam Das Thakur was disciple of Lokanath Goswami, and Shyamananda Pandit was disciple of Hridaya Chaitanya. Although they were disciples of three different gurus, they were studying under Shiksha Guru was Jiva Goswami, and while studying under him, they become thick, close friends, and they become the first book distribution party, which Jiva Goswami had sent the books to Bengal. And while bringing, we know that how it gets stolen. And then Srinivasacharya says, I'll stay back and I'll try to get the book, this one. Then he sends Narottam Das Thakur to Bengal and other this one. Then they eventually get the from that king, they retrieve this one, and then later this the preaching in the Odisha also, it was in the Odia province, it spread. So this is the in short the life of Srinivasacharya, also how he was continuous in the life of separation from the his whomever he aspired for. So today's appearance of Srinivasacharya also. So we can also pray at the lotus feet of all these great souls that the attachment and eagerness to serve what they had, if we also can get a tinge of it, may our lives also may become successful. So thank you very much. I'll pause here. If any of you have any comments or any of you want to share something, you can share. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Svayam Prakash Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you very much for sharing the wonderful nectar. Especially you shared the mood of pure devotees. How Prabhupada was having the same mood like Madhavendra Puri of not being worried about the personal discomforts or difficulties in serving the Lord. And that was very beautiful. And also thank you for narrating the pastime of Srivasacharya and appearance of Radha Ramanade. I unmute the line of devotees. You may please share the comments or questions that you may have.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhu, this scene, Srivasacharya is different from Panchatattva Srivasacharya.
This is Srinivasacharya Mataji. That is Shivasacharya.
Yes.
Shivas Thakur.
Okay. Prabhu, I would like to share one thing about the deity of Remuna. Actually, it was sculpted by Rama in Chitrakuta. And actually, in the morning, if you go, and there will be darshan, they will open that. Actually, it will be covered. When they open it, it is so beautifully sculpted in different levels, Prabhu. In the top, in the bottom, there will be many cows. And the next level, there are Sridama, Sudama, and Subala will be there. And the next step, Lalita and Vishaka and the Ashtasakis will be there. Then on the top is Krishna and Balaram fighting with Chanura Mushtika. That thing will be there, Prabhu. That much it will be sculpted. It will be covered actually. We can't see in the daytime. We can only see Gopinath. But in the morning when they do the Abhisheka, they just show that.
Oh.
It's very beautiful, Prabhu, that deity to see.
I think I've never been to future Gopinath Mataji. Maybe
actually
I've gone with all of your blessings. Maybe sometime I may get an opportunity to go.
Because I just heard during the COVID time, we were reading this pastime. I was very much attached to that. I decided to go and see. I just went. I only went to Ramona and then came back. That time I saw Prabhu. It was very nice. There's a nice ISKCON temple also there.
Yeah.
Stayed there and then we came. Very nice, Prabhu.
So hearing the pastime of Madhavendra Priya and the story of future Gopinath, you got attracted.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
So now hearing from you, many devotees here also are getting inspired. Let us see whoever takes me, then we can have on the yatra. Thank you, Mataji, for sharing.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much for sharing nectar of so many acharyas. Thank you so much. It was really very relishing. Thank you.
Right.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I think there are no other questions, so we can end today's session with Vaishnava Pranam. Thank you very much for your session, Prabhu. Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namo.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, devotees. I'll end the Zoom session. Krishna willing, we'll meet again tomorrow morning. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Right.